So that's the million-dollar question that everyone's been asking us over the course of the last few months, and the truth is,
welcome to our virtual open house. Today, to spice it up a little bit, I brought in my friend and also client, Mr. Josh Dorfman from Northwestern Mutual. Could you please introduce yourself, Josh?
good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to be here. David, thanks for the opportunity. I'm a financial advisor and chartered financial analyst with a company called Northwestern Mutual. My team and I, based here in DC, serve clients around the country in supporting their individual, family, and business financial planning needs. So here to share some thoughts about how to plan through these current economic situation.
So Josh, what impact will the virus have on the stock market moving forward, in your opinion?
So that's the million-dollar question that everyone's been asking us over the course of the last few months, and the truth is, nobody knows for certain. I mean, this virus is so unpredictable. The world's best scientists haven't figured out what's going to happen yet, let alone how policymakers are going to respond. So it could very well be that we already hit the bottom in the middle of March and we're just riding upward from here. Or it could be, depending on how long it takes us to get under control, that we might have continued economic decline for the short term. So the question that we like to share with folks is, if we needed the money in the stock market, we should have taken it out prior to this occurring. And for those that have more of that longer term view, rather than try to time it, which is going to be next to impossible, is really just to take a long term view of letting it ride and not trying to worry about the timing of the tops and the bottoms.
So Josh, if one had to readjust their portfolio, is there any recommendation you would make?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple of key things that people can be doing right now. One is that everyone can participate in is something called rebalancing. So if your portfolio is supposed to be 60% stocks and 40% bonds, and of that 60% stock portion, 30% was supposed to be in domestic stocks and 30% was supposed to be international, those asset allocation, that percentage that's allocated, has probably changed pretty dramatically, and you probably have a lot more in bonds than you have in stocks right now. So the simplest thing is just to rebalance back to that target allocation that you set before we entered the crisis. And that's something that we should be doing on a regular basis, usually quarterly or semi-annually anyway. But when we get these wide swings, it's really important to do so. And that allows us to sell what's doing well and buy what hasn't been doing well, so we're constantly selling high and buying low. So rebalancing is the first one. The second, and this doesn't apply to retirement accounts, but for those that are in taxable investment portfolios, maybe an individual or joint account, this could be an opportunity for what we call tax loss harvesting. So we know as we make gains on our investments, we're due to taxes on that capital gain. So when we have a period of downturn, we might be able to sell before we recognize that gain, or in some instances, we might actually have a loss in some of those investments. So we can swap out S&P 500 Index Fund A and replace it with S&P 500 Index Fund B. In truth, they're probably identical investments, but we're able to do so with much more favorable tax consequences as a result.
So Bellevue Forest allows a professional working in DC to commute to his or her work within 15 minutes while living in this amazing suburban oasis, which does not feel like you're 15 minutes from the hustle and bustle of Washington, D.C. We are also only 15 minutes away from Amazon's headquarters 2 at National Landing, which is currently being built and will complete by December of 2020.
Would you like to comment on people keeping their down payments in the stock market?
Yeah, absolutely, David. So our philosophy is that if we need to be accessing the investments to use for their intended purchase in the next 12 to 24 months, they really shouldn't be in the stock market. And as we witnessed in the past few weeks, the reason why is because they can decline in value so rapidly. So having become a client of David's very recently with purchasing a home, one of the things that I prepared to do in the late summer and fall, knowing that I was planning to buy in early 2020, was I actually removed those stock positions and instead replaced them with either just cash holdings or more conservative bond or fixed income holdings. So as folks are planning to purchase a home within the next 12 to 24 months, that's certainly something that we advise, is getting them off the roller coaster and the short-term uncertainty of the stock market, and instead replacing with something that gives us much more short-term certainty and predictability.
So this is our basement, but if I didn't tell you that and you just came in here, you may think this is our main living room because it's so spacious and it's so bright.